Muslims in Egypt observed the Eid holiday on Thursday, but this year their celebrations were divided along political lines. Egyptians opposed to deposed President Mohamed Morsi stood united with members of the army to perform Eid prayers in Cairo's Tahrir Square. "We are having a lot of videos showing that the police and the army and their tanks are killing our protesters. While we are praying, we protest? Yes, we protest. Because we have demands." Mohamed Soudan, Foreign Relations Secretary for the Freedom and Justice Party. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, where supporters of Morsi have been rallying for weeks, the mood was jubilant despite the threat of a security crackdown. Protesters were still out on the streets demanding that Morsi be released and reinstated as head of state. But Egypt's interim Prime Minister Mansour says the government has grown weary of the protests, and has vowed to break them up. During 2 weeks of intense mediation, envoys from the United States, Europe and the Gulf have attempted to find common ground between the two sides. The US and the European Union have warned that Egypt now faces a dangerous political stalemate. They issued a joint statement which said the Egyptian government has a special responsibility to find a solution. But Mansour said diplomatic efforts have failed, and he blamed the Muslim Brotherhood for the impasse. So, what it will take for a political solution to be achieved in Egypt. Should Egyptians expect more violence in the coming days? And what is the political future for the country? To discuss this, Inside Story, with presenter Veronica Pedrosa, is joined by guests, Adel Iskander, a Georgetown University professor and author of Egypt in Flux, Essays on an Unfinished Revolution, Khalid Dawood, a spokesman for the National Salvation Front, a coalition of liberal and leftist parties, and Mohamed Soudan, the Foreign Relations Secretary for the Muslim Brotherhood's Freedom and Justice Party. Unfortunately, we are still unable to fulfill the original demands of the Egyptian revolution. The change that happened on June 30th, and the millions who went out in the street, were mainly aiming at restoring the goals of this revolution. After the former president and his political group the Muslim Brotherhood basically deviated and betrayed all those major goals. Over the past year we did not have a president for Egypt, we had a president for the Muslim Brotherhood group alone. Khalid Dawood, a spokesman for the National Salvation Front,